All right. What are we about to do, Manazzi?
We're about to take a whole lot of stuff out of the engine bay. That's what we're gonna do.
We're gonna start taking everything out, drain the fluids, and then I'm also gonna take a look at what I need for the rear brake, for the rear brake kit I'm gonna make. So I'm gonna take off the drum, see what I can use, what I can't, and see what I can get planned up in the future here. I already have everything lined up for the front. I already have the calipers and the rotors and everything. I just need to mock up a caliper bracket. So once I get all this done, then I can start mocking up and designing the caliper bracket. But the main focus is to pretty much get rid of most of the stuff in here today and get the engine and transmission ready to drop and start mocking up the new transmission. So here's the old one, and it mounts down here on the front side of the trans, and on the other one I'll show you is mounted on the top. You look at here, look at these top casting marks on the top. This is a C150, I believe, transmission. And then if we go over here, this is out of an MR2, this is a C52. So here's the casting marks on this puppy. So they're slightly different, and this is actually where the mount was. The mount was on here like this. So just like that. Oop. Just like that. So I have to drill and tap on this side on these nice two fat pieces of casting here. Once I open up the trans and make sure there's nothing going on over here, and I can drill and tap onto these for the trans mount for the car. So as long as that's all good, that shouldn't take too long. And then I'll also have to rebuild that with the LSD. That'll be a fun time. But primary mission of today is get everything lined up and stripped. So let's do it.
Major.
All right, so I'll show you where we left off last night. Boom. Axles. Axles out. Let's go. So axles out, all the fluids drained, oil, main transmission fluid, the rest of the radiator fluid. Everything's disconnected in the back here. Now all I'm gonna do is I'm about to check the valve lash. So I'm about to check the, let's see if I can get it. So we're gonna check the valve lash, which is the space between the valve and the bucket. So I'm gonna check that out. Listen, oh, that's better. Yeah, there we go. So I'm about to check the valve lash on here. Then I'll pull the cams, and then I'll pull the head. And then once the head is pulled, then I'll support the engine, start pulling the transmission. Once I have the transmission dropped out of the way, then I'll drop the engine. I don't have a hoist here. I will get one soon from a buddy, but for this, I don't need to have an engine hoist. I don't need to do that because then I don't have an engine stand or anything to put it on and take it apart. So this is pretty simple, just to have it all supported, ready to go, and kind of disassemble it from here. So that's what we're gonna do. And yeah, let's go. All right, cams are out. I loosened them up in like a crosshatch pattern, like same thing when you're doing the head. You loosen up on one side, then you go to the other side, and the other side, and you meet in the middle, and you progressively loosen them up because you want to bring up the the camshaft level. If you don't, you could crack it. So that would not be good. And then all the caps here are numbered. So this will be 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So, and if you look, I'll come over here onto these puppies, you'll see the cam caps. You see how it says I4 right there? And it says I5, I3, I2. So that's for intake cap 2, 3, 4, 5. And they all have an arrow pointing to the left to the gear, to the cam gear. So if you ever mix them up, it's no big deal. You just got to have them pointing in the right direction. All screws are the same length, except for the ones with the extra stud on them for the valve cover. That's it. And a common thing, I actually did this on my first time pulling the cam out. I forgot to put in this little this screw right here, which definitely need to put in, because if you don't, it's a pain to get the gear back. So the gear, you see there is, it's split as 2 gears, and I forget what it's called, but it's spring loaded so that the gears mesh, the exhaust and the intake mesh, and there's no space in between them. So if you don't put that screw in, those gears are going to shift and you have to rotate them back to get the screw in, and it's a pain. So that's like the first step. And then that screw is actually a screw for one of the caps. Probably have the shop that's building my engine take a look at these, because that is from when I lost oil out of the original engine, because these cams are out of the original engine. I don't feel those. You can't feel those marks, but they're there. So I don't know how bad that is. And it's not so bad on the intake cam. So, yep, we'll see. But that's where we're at. And now, time to remove the head. Bada bing, bada boom, let's go. So, you look, so the tripod on. You look right there. That's where my oil leak was coming from. Just pulling up right there. Let's see. I mean, this head gasket is stuck on here. Looks like it was, I guess it was leaking from the top side. Because the bottom is good. Peep the beautiful Florida weather. Super nice out. Sunset's gonna be nice too. And there's that thing. Okie dokie, let's go. So I don't have a cameraman, so I gotta do this like step by step, you know what I mean? But got the engine and trans out. Basically what I did is I pulled the head. Pulled the head. Once I had that done, I had a jack underneath the engine, jacked it up a little bit, removed the rear mount and the side mount, and I loosened up all the bolts holding together the transmission and the engine, dropped the trans. I was literally able to just sit in here and like straddle it, straddle the engine and transmission, and then once I had the transmission out, I literally just slid it out from over here. There's plenty of room. And then I basically did the same thing with the engine, and what I did is I lowered it from the jack, because it's one of those super low profile jacks, this guy. Boom, nice and low. Look at that, look how low, all the low. So, lowered them, and then just picked it, I mean, it's heavy, but like I just was able to lift it up just a little bit and put it down on another piece of wood where it currently resides. And then I slid it down and out. I had to lift the car up, so I jacked that's why the jack's over there. So I jacked up the front of the car over here, and then I was able to pull the engine out with the whole flywheel clutch assembly on it. And then I just assembled it. So clutch and flywheel over here, they look actually really good. I was surprised not a whole lot of heat marks on the flywheel, but I mean there's a little bit, there's some hot spots, but nothing bad. The clutch is still in decent shape, which is amazing. Yeah, and then I took the crank out of this puppy. Everything looks phenomenal on this. So the bearings look great, just everything. The only problem that's going on here is that it's an oily mess. It's just disgusting. So, but got the crank over here. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. So, there's no issues with the crank at all. So I get to send that out to the end shop. I might go tomorrow. I'm going to see. But the next project that's on the list to do is this guy. So what I'm doing is I'm going with oversized studs. I'm going with the 4AGE head studs, so that I have better clamping force, because the heads on these seem to lift at around 250 horsepower, and I'm not taking any chances. I really don't intend to be up there much, maybe 200, 250 max, but I want all the reliability. So I am putting in bigger head studs, and that means that I need to chamfer out a little bit around these bulls over here for the head studs so I can fit a socket in. That's it. So gotta do a little bit of custom machine work, but nothing major, nothing like the port and polish that I did on this a while ago. So hopefully that'll be like a 30-minute job. Well, probably an hour realistically, being patient and stuff. So yeah, that's the next thing on the task list. So I'll do a little more in depth on that. And yeah, everything is going good. I think we're probably gonna call it a night. And before we do, we'll actually look at this head gasket. I don't know what it is. These cheap eBay head gaskets are shit. Look at this. It just clogs up on most of the pores here for the water jacket ports. I don't know why, but they were all completely sealed. They were completely open when I got it. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. But the oil leaks seem to be coming from the head. I haven't flipped it over yet because I need to make a box for all the buckets and shims so that I know where they all go. I can't just dump them out. So I gotta take care of that first before I can flip it over and check things out. But I'm pretty sure the leak came from the top side, which is the head. So the head would have been a problem. But yeah, anyway, and then I think this explains why my oil been getting black really quickly. Is that one of the seal busted between, what is this, 3 and 4 cylinders, 3 and 4. So you can see that on the block too, actually, but I can't flip that over yet. So yeah, my oil has gotten super dark the past few months, and I bet that is why. So no biggie, I'm just taking care of now, and I don't know what's going to be in store for this engine down the road, but these are the original cams. I might be getting new upgraded cams by Speed Vision. I'm going to look and see, but not sure yet. And but yeah, as far as this engine goes, I don't know what we're going to do with it. I'm just going to bag it up with spare parts and put it on the side. And that might go into the race sale, yeah, in the next few months. Hopefully we get going on that and by July, but we'll see. First things first, Ellie's got to be taken care of, so getting this thing done. Oh, and then once all that's done, it's sent to the engine shop. I'll be doing brakes, so a little bit of a brake kit, front and rear. And at the same time, I'm also going to do the transmission. Got to clean up the bell housing and replace the stock LSD in that one over there with the stock, differential with the LSD, and then combine that transmission with this one. A little bit of Frankenstein going on. And then the transmission will be pretty much ready. Maybe I'll be able to drill and top the holes as well. So just keep on keeping on, you know. Look at those old tires. Look at them. Look at those. I wonder what happened to that one. I wonder what happened to those.